That got a little heated. You all right?
Well, that depends. How angry is Cassandra? I wasn't trying to keep secrets. I told the Inquisition everything that seemed important at the time.
I bet Cassandra regrets how things went back there. You should talk to her.
I appreciate that you're trying to keep the peace, but things between me and the Seeker are as good as they'll get. I keep hoping none of this is real. Maybe it's all some bullshit from the Fade and it'll just disappear. I know I need to do better. I'm sorry. Corypheus is back. Oh, shit.
You said he was a Darkspawn or a Magister. What is he really?
I'm not sure. I don't think Corypheus really knows either. He's definitely a Darkspawn, but when we found him, it was pretty obvious he hadn't heard that. He thinks he's a Magister, a priest of Dumat, in fact. He says he broke into the Golden City, like in the Chantry tale.
If you and Hawk defeated him once, we can do it again.
We didn't just think Corypheus was dead. He was dead. No pulse, no breath, full of stab wounds. There wasn't a lot of room for doubt. It makes me wonder. I thought the Wardens imprisoned Corypheus to use him. Maybe they did it because he can't be killed.
How did you and Hawk even wind up in a Grey Warden prison for ancient Darkspawn?
Corypheus sent people after Hawk. He actually got control of an entire Carta clan. Made them drink Darkspawn blood. Weird shit. We tracked the Carta to an old dwarven fort or something in the mountains. Of course, it turned out to be a trap. They needed Hawk's blood to open the locks holding Corypheus, and they drew us into the prison to get it.
There has to be a way to defeat Corypheus. We'll find it, don't worry.
I hope you're right. Maker's breath, what have I let loose?
Brutally murdered is not really the same as unleashed upon the world, Varric.
In this case, it might be. But you've got more important things to do than listen to me worry. Just let me know when you want something shot.
Inquisitor, I was just inspecting our new headquarters. Foundation cracks, nesting animals, and miles from any centers of civilization. The staff must make it presentable if we're to receive any visitors of distinction.
Certainly wouldn't do for the Inquisition to appear overly shabby.
We've only just now convinced everyone we are precisely what Thedas requires. The Templars came far to fight with us. They need to feel secure here.
Do you not feel safe here?
I've had difficulty forgetting Corypheus' attack on Haven. Do you know who first leapt to arms? our workers. They were so proud of our cause. Corypheus simply cut them down. So much screaming after that first blast of fire. So many people turned to ash.
I keep feeling that fire's heat on the back of my neck, too.
Indeed. But you're the one who led us to safety. Well, before I return to my duties, allow me to congratulate you on your appointment as Inquisitor, my lord. I will now bring diplomatic issues to your attention, and I'm more than happy to help with any situations that arise.
I'm loath to part from such pleasant company. Would you care to walk the castle with me?
Oh, well, a tour then? Let me fetch the steward.
That isn't precisely what I was hoping for.
Well, do let me know if you change your mind. Now I must find someone to prepare the guest quarters. Inquisitor, is it true? Is the mark on your hand magic cast by Corypheus?
Corypheus claimed it's a spell gone wrong.
I wanted to think it was a blessing. A sign the Maker was returning to his creation. How credulous of me.
The anchor's nothing more special than a misfired spell.
At least you had the good fortune to take it from Corypheus. Does it hurt? The anchor, that is.
It looks strange, but it hasn't done me harm.
If it did come from Corypheus, that's a small mercy.
Our agents have encountered more followers of Corypheus, these so-called Venatori. Their leader, Calpurnia, has them searching elven ruins. For what, I do not know. I propose we stop the Venatori before they find what they seek.
Do you know anything about Calpurnia?
Only that Calpurnia is a name from ancient Tevinter legend. An unusual one. She was a priestess of Dumat, foster mother to the founder of the Imperium. A name like that is meant to assure the Venatori they follow in the footsteps of legends. We must prove them wrong.
Calpurnia must be up to something. Corypheus doesn't seem the type to suffer idleness.
I will not let her and Corypheus take us unawares again. These Venatori have been shadowing a merchant called Vicinius on Calpurnia's orders. They've investigated his finances, surveyed his warehouses. I propose that you meet with Vicinius. Flatter him. Find out what he knows of Calpurnia.
Vicinius sounds like a Tevinter name.
Born in Tallow, although he claims to be from Virantium. He sells rare oils and amber, and prefers red wine to white.
What side of the bed does he sleep on?
He's unremarkable. I cannot think why Calpurnia would care.
What if Vicinius is as much in the dark as we are?
It never hurts to eliminate an avenue of inquiry. And we should tread lightly with the Venatori. They have contacts and spies, just as we do. The sooner you speak with Vicinius, the better.
We need him to open up about these bloodthirsty cultists. I'll bring wine.
Vicinius could be a useful ally. Merchants travel, and they love gossip as much as coin. I'll make arrangements for you to visit his summer home in Val Royeaux. Hopefully, your attention should be enough to pique his interest. We'll have Calpurnia's secrets yet. Reports of Fade Rifts and demons keep coming. The people are terrified, and it's only getting worse. The only thing that will calm their fears now is the hope that someone out there can save them. You have to be that someone. No one else has any power over the rifts. Seal them, Your legend will spread, and Thedas will learn to trust the Inquisition.
The Divine's death hit you hard. How have you been feeling?
Oh, you are referring to my outburst in the Haven. I am much better now. Justinia was such a dear friend, and there were so many things going wrong.
Things going wrong? I'm shocked.
I was there when the hero of Ferelden defeated the Archdemon. It took a great sacrifice, but it was worth it. We won the day, and I thought the Maker smiled on me. When the Divine requested my help, I went to her. I owed her that much. I sacrificed so much to do the Maker's work. But now, Justinia is dead. I was angry. I felt betrayed. But I shouldn't have let my emotions get the better of me. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. You were grieving and upset. I understand.
Thank you. Now enough of this. Let us think more pleasant thoughts.
Anything I should know?
It seems that the Orlesian army is awaiting our next move. Some of the generals are sympathetic to our cause, others are still suspicious. Our actions are under a great deal of scrutiny.
Anything I should know?
I've agents stationed by the ruins of Haven, should Corypheus or his lackeys return. So far nothing, and the breach has been quiet for some time. There is something at least.
I'll leave you to your work.
Oh, Inquisitor! Greetings. I was recently appointed by Sister Liliana to keep her books in order. I'm so pleased to be here, helping out in my small way. Well, I should get back to work.
Roderick, that Chantry fellow who led us through the mountain from Haven. You know he died, I assume. Got us as far as the camp, and then... that was it.
Oh, that's too bad.
I helped him walk. He... talked about you quite a bit. He just needed to be sure you were Andraste's chosen. He was terrified of what it meant, if it were true. But in the end, he believed. He asked me to tell you he was sorry.
Thank you for telling me about that.
I thought it was important. Anyway, we can talk about something else if you'd rather.
I'm curious why you were in Redcliffe in the first place.
Looking up an old mentor of mine. A magister by the name of Alexius. Good fellow. Always thought highly of him. Then one day, he asks me to join the Venatori. I don't know what he was thinking. He knew I wanted to change Tevinter, not regress it into prehistoric madness. The Venatori killed Alexius, once he stopped being useful.
Seems odd he would get involved with the Venatori at all.
That's what I thought. I'd hoped to persuade him to leave Redcliffe. I suppose he had his reasons. People will do odd things when they're strung over a barrel. Either that, or I didn't really know Alexius at all.
I should go.
As you wish.
Hello.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
As leader of the Inquisition, there's something I must tell you.
You're being especially serious today.
I know. Lyrium grants Templars our abilities, but it controls us as well. Those cut off suffer. Some go mad, others die. We have secured a reliable source of lyrium for the Templars here. But I no longer take it.
You stopped?
When I joined the Inquisition. It's been months now.
Why are you doing this?
After what happened in Kirkwall, I couldn't. I will not be bound to the Order, or that life any longer. Whatever the suffering, I accept it. But I would not put the Inquisition at risk. I've asked Cassandra to watch me. If my ability to lead is compromised, I will be relieved from duty.
Are you in pain?
I can endure it.
Thank you for telling me. I respect what you're doing.
Thank you, Inquisitor. The Inquisition's army must always take priority. Should anything happen, I will defer to Cassandra's judgment. Yes?
Is there anything I should know?
I'm glad to have the charges on our side. Bull's men are professionals, despite evidence to the contrary. I'm sure you have other matters to attend.
Strangest thing, when I reached down, my dagger was gone. Just gone. Know where I found it? In a barrel. The thing was filled to the brim with daggers. Got the strangest feeling. I know someone took it right off my belt, but I can't.
Your worship. Oh, hey. Hello. Good that you're here, because I need to talk to you. You know that thing we do when we meet out there, the playful banter? That's just for fun, right?
It is fun, and I would like it to continue.
Really? Wow, I'm stunned and flattered and a little bit afraid. I often spend time at the tavern. Maybe you could join me sometime?
I'd like that, Scout Harding.
You can call me Lace.
Wait, your name is Lace Harding.
My mother was a seamstress, blame her. And stop looking at me like that. And don't tell anyone.
Shouldn't you be out there scouting?
In a bit. We're in Skyhold for supplies and a change of personnel. Not me, though. Indispensable.
So, who's Scout Harding, really?
Me? Oh, I'm no one. Lived near Redcliffe all my life. Herded sheep for my neighbor. When the Inquisition came through my village, I helped by telling them everything I knew about the area. Then I signed on. Wanted to see the world before it was swallowed up by that thing out there.
What's been going on?
Sister Liliana glanced at me today. I think she's gonna have me killed.
What's been going on?
Ambassador Montilier sent me a basket of flowers to thank me for my work with the Inquisition. She's so lovely.
What's been going on?
Varric came by to talk. He told me a story about copper marigolds.
I should go.
Someone left sliced plums on the windowsill again. The juice is attracting flies. There are spiders everywhere. The plums were right in front of me, but I can't quite recall who took them.
But she was so fast, so quick with her bow. No one quite knew where she came.
Inquisitor. It's got a good ring to it. We're happy to be here, Your Worship. You need anything, let me know.
I'd like to know more about the Iron Bull.
The Chief. Last time I met him, he saved my life. I never thought I'd work for a Canary, but he grows on you. He's not like any commander I've ever worked for. That's for damn sure.
How's Iron Bull as a commander?
If you know what you're doing and hold up your end, he's easy. He doesn't accept any less. If he keeps us alive, he leads from the front, and if you've an idea that'll win the fight, he listens. I've seen bands whose captains had to prove they were swinging the biggest sword. Bull isn't like that. The charges might give me more lip than you'd expect, but every one of us would lay down our lives for the big ass.
How did a Tevinter soldier wind up in a Qunari spy's mercenary company?
I wasn't a soldier at the time. I was in some trouble, trying to flee to Winter. A Tribune and his men caught me in a border town tavern. They meant to make an example of me. Bull killed them. Gave up his eye doing it. Patched me up and asked if I was looking for work. I've been putting up with his jokes ever since.
That's how he lost the eye.
Yes. The guards had me on the tavern floor when Bull came inside and yelled for them to stop. One of them saw trouble coming and figured he'd finish me off. The guard had a flair. Bull put himself between me and the blow. The cold idiot. Didn't even know me.
Is it strange to work for Qunari?
He hasn't tried to convert us to the Qun, if that's what you're asking. Bull's charges don't care who you light a candle for, so long as your shield stays up. If he hadn't told me he was Ben Hasrath, I'd have thought he'd left that life behind.
I didn't expect he'd tell you all that he was a spy.
Not the whole band, but those who've been around long enough to trust. He figures most of us would find out sooner or later, and it should come from him. Eyes to eye, he says. It's never messed up a job. He just writes letters back home. Lots of the boys write letters back home.
We'll talk later.
Welcome. We are assembling quite the influential list of allies. You all right, bro? I'm fine, all that. There are few orders as led.
Hey you, I have an Inquisitor favor to ask. Just a little thing, really. A little march around for some of your people. It's nothing for you, right?
All right, let's hear what you've got.
Jump right in, huh? I like that. It's a Red Jenny thing. I got a tip that some noble stiffs are arguing over Vashel. Land squabble. They're getting little people beat up, so I need you to go to your big table and send some people to walk through town.
Just walk through.
Just walk through. Easy, right?
All right, Sarah. I'll have someone look into it.
It's fun, right? Being important without doing a thing. Well, not much of a thing. Not everything has to be torn skies and ancient arseholes. Every little thing makes a difference somewhere.
Yes, we'll make good use of it.
He was dead the whole time. He didn't know.
I'd like to talk about what happened to you before we met.
Before you, Rhys was my friend. He showed me I was wrong to kill the mages. I thought I was helping them. Then he and Evangeline went to Adamant, and I went with them. I was worried Evangeline would hurt Rhys. We found out dangerous things. It scared Seeker Lambert, and he scared the mages. It started the rebellion. Seeker Lambert told me what I was. Rhys couldn't look at me. I ran until I found more Templars. That's all.
What can you tell me about Adamant Fortress?
It is old, full of sadness and pain. It should be torn down. The veil is thin. We found a demon there. It had touched a man and made him real again. It scared Rhys and Evangeline. The man wasn't supposed to be real. Then the demon found us. It put me back in the cupboard on the bad day. Rhys and Evangeline saved me.
You said Seeker Lambert told you what you were.
I'm hiding Rhys from him, but he chants words and sees. I won't let you hurt Rhys. My nose explodes, a shower of blood. Just another parasite that's wormed its way into our world, feeding off all the things you can't have. What we found at Adamant made him angry. We were the first rock rolling at the top of a mountain. He had to stop us. He killed so many. He didn't care. Cold, corrupt. So I came and killed him.
If you hated Seeker Lambert, why go to the Seeker Fortress?
Because he was right. I was a demon. I saw demons at Adamant. They put people in the dark, in the old hurts. I didn't want to be that. I heard the old songs of the Templars at Val Royeaux and followed them. If I forgot, fought, fell to felling, Templars would kill the demon. I wouldn't hurt anyone again.
What was the Spire like when the Mage Rebellion started?
Dead and dying, begging and bloody. Some wanted freedom, some peace, some war. Some wanted it all to stop. Evangeline was a Templar, but she helped Rhys help the others. She set them free. Adrian was a mage, but she killed mages to force the fight. She wanted blood. Rhys just wanted to help, to stop people hurting. Maybe that's why he saw me.
What can you tell me about Rhys?
He was a mage. He saw me when most couldn't, and he remembered. He helped me, and I watched over him. I worried Evangeline would hurt him. She was a Templar, but she didn't like hurting people. When I left, she stayed. Now she watches over him. They should have been with the rebels. Maybe they ran away together instead. Neither of them like killing.
If you like, I could use the resources of the Inquisition to locate your friend.
No. If they are alive and safe, they should stay away. The last time he saw me, he didn't want to look at me. He saw a monster. Let him forget.
What did you mean when you said you killed mages?
Some of the mages at the Spire wanted to die. Too sad, too scared, too much. I didn't know what I was. A ghost, I thought. Fading in the fade. When I came to them, they could see me. I used the knife to set them free. When Rhys found out, he made me stop, made me understand. There were other ways to help. I didn't know.
Sounds like you didn't know what you were doing.
No, I killed people. I knew. I just thought I had to. They were hurting, helpless, haunted. It was all I could do. It was wrong. I was wrong. If I start again, you or Cassandra or Cullen need to kill me.
I'll talk to you later.
How do you know?
We should get to the ritual tower in the western approach as soon as possible, Your Worship.
What's it like being a warden? Can't even imagine.
It's been a long time since I was anything else. It becomes your life, searching out Darkspawn, killing them, ensuring no one ever knows how close they are.
We'll talk later.
Inquisitor, you have done much, but have you the stomach for the Inquisition?
The what?
It begins now, and there is a time. A blight is signaled by the rise of an archdemon, a corrupted old god. Nay, the archdemon of the fifth blight.
creature's name was Euthemia.
Correct. Well played. We will continue when I have time and the wind calls me.
Inquisitor, huh? Well, you've got the fortress for it. Speaking of which, when you've got a second, there's something I want to show you.
What did you want me to come see?
Here, come on. I'll show you.
Why am I dressed like this?
You'll see. Come on. It'll be worth your time, I promise. Evening. Iron Bull. My merc band just joined up.
Tanner. I'm from Jader. Well, near Jader.
Mira. I was guard captain for Lady Pendel. Signed on after shit blew up at the Conclave. Share a drink? Who's your friend?
This is Grim. He doesn't talk much.
Hey.
So, you ready to kill some demons? Or Venatori, or whatever that Corypheus asshole is?
This isn't just about killing. We're helping the Inquisitor save the world and build the next empire.
Well, long as I get paid, I'm happy. That's why I signed up.
I just couldn't spend my whole life on a farm. Needed to live a little, you know.
What about you, Mira? Why'd you join up? I thought you were serving some noble.
I saw what happened at Haven. The Inquisitor staring down that monster and his archdemon. I don't think the Chant of Light as much as I should. But you can't see something like that and not believe.
Well, Grim and I should find our tents. Thanks for the drink. I know every soldier under my command. You don't have that option, but a few faces might help.
It was good to get their perspective.
Yeah. Sounds like we could use an easy win for boys like Tanner. And vets like Mira have seen enough to be wary. You've got a good army coming along. Remember that, no matter what comes next.
I wondered why all Skyhold seemed suddenly brighter.
What's been going on?
Madame de Fer said hello to me. Or maybe she was waving at someone else and I just thought she was. Yeah, that's probably what happened.
I have to go.
Stefan finally died. It was a blessing, really. He's been in so much pain since.
I can keep staring at this, but I won't get any closer.
Something I can help you with?
Yes. Possibly. You recall the demon at Therenfall? The one impersonating Lord Seeker Lucius? We never found the real Lord Seeker. Or his body. Indeed, I've seen no hint of any Seekers amongst the Red Templars, or anywhere. I have a growing suspicion Corypheus has imprisoned them.
Finding them obviously means a lot to you.
I left the Order, but I can never abandon them. I cannot even claim that rescuing them would be beneficial. They wouldn't look kindly on the Inquisition. But even so, If there's a chance. If we can spare resources to follow up on these leads, Inquisitor, I would appreciate it.
Let's see what we have.
To work?
At your service.
Good book?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, because I suddenly went blind.
Oh, that. Just reports from Commander Cullen.
You're an excellent liar.
It's of no interest to you, I'm certain. It's a book.
I can see that.
It's one of Varric's tales. Swords and Shields, the latest chapter.
The latest chapter? Meaning you've read them all?
Not since this all began. We've been busy.
She's read this one 3 times.
You! I told you to stop spying!
You read it out loud to me. I don't like the captain either.
I never did that. It's literature. Smutty literature. Whatever you do, don't tell Varric.
Maybe I should read that book.
You? No!
Why not me?
You're the Inquisitor.
Oh, I see.
They're terrible. And magnificent. And this one ends in a cliffhanger. I know Varric is working on the next. He must be. You could ask him to finish it. Command him to... Pretend you don't know this about me. I understand if resources cannot be spared to help search for the missing Seekers, Inquisitor. Still, it could involve a threat we are unaware of. There may be a use in looking.
Do you have any advice for me?
Tell that demon, what does it call itself? Cole. Tell it to leave. He may not mean harm, but that does not mean he will not harm us. Spirits are not creatures to take at face value. Be cautious with him, Inquisitor.
That's enough for now.
Another time, then.
It was an archdemon, they say.
wasn't. Deceased, maybe.
You didn't see him.
Heard you found something that had to do with wardens. Would have liked to have seen it. I've been meaning to thank you. There are 100 things that need your attention. You didn't have to take the time to help me, and yet you did.
If the history you pursue benefits the Wardens, then it was worth it.
I've never been more certain of my decision to join you.
Leliana makes sure my sordid secrets never come to light.
Well then, I won't pry. I prefer to go on believing only good things about you.
Varric's friend Hawk said there were suspicions of corruption in Grey Warden ranks. Do you know anything about that?
Corruption? What sort of corruption?
Corypheus. He's been known to influence the minds of Wardens.
That could very well explain why so many have disappeared.
If this is true, then all Wardens are in danger. Even you. We'd better find your brothers.
I agree. If Hawk's given you an idea where to start, we should get moving immediately.
What do you think of the Inquisition?
I just know that you could shake this world to its foundations if you willed it.
What do you think of my advisors?
Cullen. He's got the look of a man who's been through too much. He's seen the best and the worst of humanity, and I think he still struggles with where that leaves him. Still, I trust him to watch my back.
You must have some feelings about our friends.
Last time we dined, Sarah put away 12 potatoes, an entire roast duck, and 4 different tarts. I'm not sure where any of it goes.
What do you think of the Inquisition's cause?
Restoring order is a goal I support wholeheartedly. But that's not the end of it, is it? Not by a half. The Lady Seeker believes we are restoring the Chantry. Others say it needs reform. I don't know where you stand on the matter, and I'll admit I haven't made up my mind either.
We should return to our duties.
As you wish. You are, after all, in charge. This is just... it's something to keep their hands busy. I'm grateful you tracked me down when you did. As exciting as wandering the woodlands was, this is better. It's good to be part of something so important. Something that could change things.
I'm pleased that you feel that way.
Makes me sound like a Chantry sister, doesn't it? Some giddy new initiate. But so be it. I suppose you've earned my loyalty and girlish enthusiasm. You are who you choose to follow. Someone told me that once. Took me years to understand what he meant.
There's wisdom in that.
It was a chevalier who said those words to me. A powerful man, but never without honor. A true knight. We met as competitors in the Grand Tourney. He left me with that advice before we parted. Put aside his own ambitions to help me win the melee. I don't think I even thanked him.
He must have wanted something from you to help like that.
A pupil, a squire. Someone to teach and to mold. He saw my potential. When it was over, he offered to mentor me. To teach me to become a chevalier like him. And I, young and stupid, turned him down flat. I just won the melee at the Grand Tourney. I didn't need him. I should have gone with him. Perhaps things could have been different.
Different doesn't always mean better.
In this case, I think it would have been better. But I'm older, hopefully wiser. And I think I've chosen the right person to walk with. Of all the things in the world, a demon who wears someone's face. I imagine it makes trusting others risky.
Risk is what keeps life exciting, don't you think?
Until you lose. It's easy to speak well of trust when yours has never been misplaced.
How much do you know about Corypheus?
Not much. I always thought the stories of Magisters corrupting the Golden City were just that, stories. I didn't expect them to be true, and I certainly didn't expect to find one of them still alive.
Let's discuss something else. Nothing right now. Perhaps in a bit. Battling the demons of paperwork? That's a fight nobody walks away from clean.
You have no idea the number of times I've almost been killed by bills of lading. I've been meaning to come talk to you anyhow. I never officially joined the Inquisition. I don't know how to do this, disciplehood thing. I'm a businessman. Never really followed a chosen one before.
I don't even know how to deal with all this. Just make something up. It'll be fine.
Oh, so we're saving the world through bullshit now? All right, I can manage that. You just don't know what you are to the people out there. The Herald of Andraste is a symbol bigger than any of us.
What am I to you, then?
None of this shit makes any sense to me. Is this the end of the world? Did Andraste send you through the breach? I have no idea. You heard the crowd singing after Haven was attacked?
Please tell me you aren't going to burst into song now.
Don't worry, I'm not that cruel. I should probably get back to work. Unless, you up for a game of Wicked Grace? So, you've been hanging out with Three Eyes? He does good work. Nothing compared to Bianca, though.
You told me that Bianca is a vanity piece.
That's the envy talking. Bianca is a masterpiece. Three Eyes isn't enough of a craftsman to build anything like her.
Cassandra is waiting for the next issue of Swords and Shields.
I must have heard that wrong. It sounded like you just said that Cassandra read my books.
What's so surprising about that?
You have met Cassandra, haven't you? Wait, did you say the romance serial? Oh, she'll be waiting for a while then. I haven't finished it and wasn't planning to. That book is easily the worst I've ever written. The last issue barely sold enough to pay for the ink.
I was hoping to give it to Cassandra as a gift.
Oh, come on, that's just cruel. Even the Seeker doesn't deserve that. So, you want me to finish writing the latest issue of my worst serial for Cassandra? Oh, that's such a terrible idea. I have to do it. On one condition. I get to be there when you give her the book.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Then you'd better find something else to give the Seeker. So, you've been hanging out with Three Eyes? He does good work. Nothing compared to Bianca, though.
I'd love to build a crossbow like Bianca someday.
Then I wish you luck. The world could probably use a few more smiths that good.
I've read your Tale of the Champion, and I have a few questions.
That's a pretty common reaction. Go ahead.
Where are the rest of Hawke's associates now?
Merrill decided to look after the elves left homeless by the fighting. She's done a pretty good job of keeping them away from the mages and Templars, so far. I guess she has plenty of practice avoiding stupid human battles with her old Dalish clan. Fenris has kept himself busy, hunting down the Tevinter slavers who came south to prey on the refugees. I'm not sure exactly where he is at the moment. You can usually follow the trail of corpses, though. Isabella went back to the Raiders. She's calling herself an admiral now. I don't know if she's actually in charge or just has a really big hat. Might be the same thing, honestly. Hawk's brother Carver is still in the Free Marches, helping the Kirkwall Guard keep order. Aveline is still guard captain. I'm pretty sure Kirkwall would fall into the sea if she quit her job. So, you've been hanging out with Three Eyes? He does good work. Nothing compared to Bianca, though.
I take it you know each other?
Acquainted. I wouldn't call us drinking buddies or anything. Guy's got weird priorities. Frankly, I think he's jealous of Bianca. Poor sod.
Personally, I'm happy with traps.
Hey, if they keep your skin in one piece, that's all that matters.
The red lyrium we found at the temple seemed to upset you.
My brother Bartrand and I sort of discovered red lyrium during an expedition in the Deep Roads. We located an ancient thaig, so old it barely looked dwarven. There was this idol there made of it. Bartrand brought it back to the surface, and, well, everything's gone downhill from there.
So what is it? Just another kind of lyrium?
The red stuff is lyrium like a dragon is a lizard. It's not just a different color. It has a whole host of weirdness all its own. I've written to every mining cast house in Orzammar. No one's seen this stuff before or knows where it came from.
What makes it special?
Regular lyrium can mess you up pretty badly, but you have to ingest it for that to happen. Red lyrium messes with your mind when you're just near the stuff. You hear singing, get violent, paranoid, and then it does creepy shit. Makes things float, brings statues to life. It also turned Kirkwall's Knight Commander to lyrium. Everyone's been kept at least 100 paces from it since.
How did the red lyrium get in the Temple of Sacred Ashes?
I don't know. So as far as I knew, the only piece to make it to the surface was destroyed. And the location of the thaig it came from is a secret. Did someone find more of it in the Deep Roads? That's not a cheery thought.
What could the Templars want with it?
In Kirkwall, just having the lyrium idol made Knight Commander Meredith impossibly strong. Before it turned her into a lyrium statue, anyway. Maybe they thought the power was worth it, or maybe they didn't know the consequences.
I think that's enough on red lyrium.
Yeah, not really my favorite subject. So, you've been hanging out with Three... he does good work. Nothing compared to Bianca, though. Frankly, I think he's jealous of Bianca. Hey, if they keep your skin in one piece, that's all that matters.
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies. No problem. So, you've been... he does good work. Frankly, that's the envy talking. Bianca is...
Cassandra is...
I'll only finish the book for you if I get to be there when you deliver it.
You've got a deal.
I'll get to work then. You know, the fact that the book is terrible just makes it more worthwhile somehow.
Another completed work of whatever they used to call it.
You've made such intriguing design choices for the castle, my dear. They must be inspired.
I strive to match your elegant sense of style.
When things have settled down a bit, I will take you to Val Royeaux and introduce you to my seamstress. And appearances are important. We can't have you mistaken for a commoner.
What's wrong with being a commoner?
There's nothing wrong with your birth, my dear, but you need to be an inspiration to the people. You command an army of the faithful, outfitted by the coin of the nobility. You must be a man who the common folk aspire to be and to whom the nobility bow.
And you think I can accomplish this purely through fashion?
It is a weapon in your arsenal. Don't overlook it, my dear. As the stories of the Inquisition spread, more and more people will wonder if you are the man they say you are. They will question what they've heard, but they will believe what they see. They must see someone greater than legends.
If that's your standard for me, what does the Divine have to live up to?
Andraste and the Maker cast very large shadows. The Divine absolutely must set the example for all Thedas. She must seem to be the embodiment of the Maker to the faithful. She needs the authority of the Maker and the charisma of Andraste. It will be no small task to fill that vacant throne. Did you need something, darling?
Do you think that you and I might, someday...
That's charming, but you'll have to keep working on your technique. Do you need something, my dear?
Is there anything I can do to help your efforts in restoring the Circle?
After the Circles fell, their libraries were plundered by scavengers. 1,000 years of recorded knowledge in the hands of bandits. It makes me sick to think of it. I've received news that some tomes have been located, if you are interested in righting this wrong.
I'll look into it for you.
If you can take care of this matter, the Circle would be in your debt.
Nothing to report, sir.
Venatori. What were they after? We should look around.
Good day.
Makes sense that Liliana did the recruiting when the Inquisition started. Not everyone can be intimidated into signing up, after all.
I recruited Commander Cullen.
Lucky him.
He has made no complaints about my manners.
His last boss was a raving lunatic who turned into a statue. That's not a high bar.
Inquisitor, if you have a moment.
What is it?
Could prove useful, sir.
dragon. I suppose we must fight it.
Yes? Did you need something?
The High Dragon attacked me when I planted the bait. I'm afraid it's dead.
She attacked? How wonderful! You had a first-hand view of her behavior. Did you take any notes on her aggressive posturing? I suppose you wouldn't have. No matter. I should very much like to interview you. At a later time, of course. I could join your Inquisition. My expertise could be of use, and your scouts could help me find other specimens.
Certainly. I'm sure the Inquisition could use a draconologist.
Excellent. I'm sure my research will be of great use to you.
Nothing to report, sir.
What are they doing here? What are they doing here? What are they doing here? they doing here? What are they doing here?
That last burst of flame nearly roasted us.
What do we expect to find here?
Stay alert. We're in the beast's territory now.
better.
To work?
Let's see what we have.
Inquisitor, the workers are almost done building a lift to the deep roads. No darkspawn trouble yet, but the earthquakes have been brutal.
I was told to meet a Shaper Volta.
She's waiting below. You won't see an Orzammar dwarf on the surface. They have rules about that.
How many quakes have there been since you arrived?
At least 3 big rumblers. And the aftershocks are nothing to sneeze at. My feet miss solid ground.
Josephine's report mentioned several lyrium mines were damaged by the quakes.
You'll see what's left of this one on your way down. From what I hear, the other mines are barely holding together.
So you haven't seen any darkspawn up here?
I sharpened my arrows just in case, but they never showed. I'm okay with that.
From your tone, I'd guess Orzammar isn't your favorite place.
I don't have an opinion. Cloud gazers like me aren't allowed in the city. The lift's ready for you. Try not to shift around, and keep back from the edge. It's a long way down.
Lowered into a hole. What an auspicious start.
We've been in worse places.
Perhaps you have, my dear.
This reminds me of a story.
Shocking.
It's about an impossibly handsome dwarf and his friend who got crowned King of the Nugs.
A Nug King? Really?
It's not as good as it sounds. Nugs mostly just shit on the floor and roll in it. Welcome to the deep roads.
We should be wary of raw lyrium.
I'm more worried about finding darkspawn.
Neither is a pleasing prospect.
Magirl, Nalfric, your names will not be forgotten.
You must be Shaper Volta.
A trust Valar, Inquisitor. The Shaper it welcomes you to the deep roads.
You look as though you're hiding from something.
As a citizen of Orzammar, even a glimpse of your sky could cost me my position and render me castless.
Gotta love real dwarves.
What does a Shaper do exactly?
We chronicle the life and times of our people.
You're historians.
Also scholars and genealogists. Shapers preserve knowledge in the memories, an archive in Orzammar. We record memories in Lyrium to ensure they never fade. We must be meticulous in every detail.
A difficult task.
How many dwarves have you lost?
More than we can count. The mining caste has suffered greatly. Our situation has worsened since we contacted Skyhold. The quakes collapsed this mine and shattered a seal, keeping the Darkspawn at bay. The Legion of the Dead hasn't been able to mend the broken seal, and we can't afford to lose any more lyrium.
What will happen if we lose more lyrium mines?
The surface needs lyrium for all sorts of magic. The Inquisition more than most, I understand. And Orzammar's economy relies on the lyrium trade. Without it, there will be chaos above and below.
Orzammar deals with Darkspawn all the time. Why request the Inquisition's help?
The Legion isn't prepared for this level of disaster, and the Grey Wardens haven't answered our calls for aid. Any threat to the flow of lyrium requires immediate response. The Inquisition is the only force we can rely upon.
I trust this Legion of the Dead isn't actually deceased yet?
Not yet. But they are ready to die. Apologies for pushing you.
Aren't you a polite thing?
I fear the damage that tremor caused. Follow me to the Legion camp. Keep your eyes open. These roads are dangerous.
I hate the deep roads.
It's not focused on us! Now's the time to attack!
used to the stench of Darkspawn. They corrupt everything, even the air. That's the broken seal ahead. It is worse than I thought.
Get those charges to the tunnels! Someone prime the sonic fuses!
We can't lose this position! Hurry!
Didn't set the charges with those bastards breathing down our necks!
Clear out the dark spawn!
Keep it up! Feel clear! Find the charges!
Now, set the charges!
Inquisitor, meet Lieutenant Wren, a veteran of the 5th Flight and one of the Legion's finest commanders.
Someone paid her to say that. Appreciate the help, Inquisitor. Collapsing that seal bought us time. Blighters had the run of these tunnels for days. Now they have a roadblock.
How many deep roads are there? How deep do they go?
They'll take you from one side of Thedas to the other, if you have a death wish.
The roads once connected dwarven cities that were hundreds of miles apart. Then came the Darkspawn. Ren and I have been exploring this region, reclaiming it, but the work is slow.
Mark the map, fight an army. Mark the map, fall in a hole. And so on.
I get the impression you two have known each other a while.
Yeah. The Shaper had sent her to dig up some relics. Asked me to keep her out of trouble. That was 3 years ago.
You can quit any time.
Not when we still have things to fight about.
The Legion of the Dead has the Inquisition's full support.
That's the best news I've heard since the Quakes began. Actually, the only good news.
Take cover!
You heard that, yes? The rhythm and the tremors? It's clearer, stronger, more insistent.
I hear it. Doesn't prove a thing.
These quakes are not a natural disaster. They're deliberate. There's an intelligence behind them.
How can an earthquake be caused deliberately?
We get plenty of natural tremors down here. These are different. She thinks she knows why.
I found an ancient text during an expedition with Ren last year. At the time, it was just a curiosity. But now... The text describes giant creatures, called Titans, living deep underground. They sing in the stone, shaping it. When these quakes began, I believe we heard that rhythm. I believe a Titan is causing all this destruction.
I've never heard of Titans before. What else can you tell me about them?
The text I found predated the First Blight. Its pages had mostly rotted away. And there's no mention of the Titans in Orzamar's memories.
Which tells you something.
You speak of the stone like it's more than walls.
The stone is eternal. She was here before us, and remains after we die.
But the stone isn't your god.
We don't worship her, but we do respect and honor her.
The stone makes us strong, and we return that strength to her when we die. It's difficult to express in words.
All I heard was an earthquake. How is it you and Ren hear a rhythm?
Our people have a strong connection to the stone. We feel it in a way topsiders cannot.
Shapers have great stone sense. And Volta's better than most. She never gets lost.
Mysterious songs often lure people to their deaths. Or to an archdemon.
This rhythm isn't a song, exactly. It sounds like air flowing through lungs.
Air that can collapse a whole mine.
In my experience, no explanation is too strange to consider.
For all we know, that text you found was a bedtime story. We can't be sure until we find the source.
The rhythm I sense in the quakes is emanating from somewhere far below. The stone will lead us there.
And if it comes to a fight, that'll be our job. There's a lift at the side passage nearby. Ready when you are.
don't run into an emissary.
Oh. Now we definitely will.
I take it emissaries are bad.
Most Darkspawn are mindless killing machines, connected by the Blight. But emissaries are intelligent. And use magic. Shrieks. It had to be shrieks.
I thought you'd be used to all kinds of darkspawn.
But everyone's got their favorites.
This belonged to an exiled dwarf. He was experimenting with raw lyrium.
This door. There's something strange about it. Looks like our construction, but...
It's missing gears.
We have to find them. It's our only way through.
This gear is warm to the touch. Strange.
I don't recognize that metal. But we should only need one more. Gears. Let's head back to the door. It's open. Keep any gears we find. We may need more. And if we don't, I want to study them. Whatever they're made of wasn't mine down here. The rhythm and the tremors, it echoes through the stone. This way. Another strange door. Who put these here? And why?
This one uses a different kind of gear from the others.
We don't have to open it. My stone sense leads the other way. Though I am curious to see the other side.
You always are.
That scar on your nose is new.
Yeah. Fell out of bed.
You sleep on the ground.
Surprised me too. important. Doing it your whole life, Inquisitor.
He means that as a compliment.
You're famous, even down here. Is it true you killed a dragon?
Magnificent creatures. Bringing one down is always bittersweet.
I can't even imagine. Tell me about their teeth. I've heard they don't all breathe fire, and their scales have different colors and patterns.
Careful, Red. I believe you're drooling.
tell who they were.
I'm sorry, Ren.
You joined the Legion knowing you're already dead. You don't fear the killing blow. We rest in the stone and pass our strength back to her. That's our reward. But the Darkspawn defiled these soldiers. They can't return to the stone. They'd only weaken her.
There must be some way to lay them to rest with honor.
We can burn the remains.
No. It's all we can do.
Look at that, Ren. Could this be Hedron?
Darkspawn all over it. You can see their torches.
We're getting close to something.
Aye. The fight of our lives. Keep your mouth closed when fighting Darkspawn. Their blood's poison.
Thanks for the warning.
There was this Carter boy, Vaughn, who joined the Legion around the same time I did. Fast with daggers. Could poke 50 holes in a Hurlock before the Blighter knew what happened. Daggers are messy. Vaughn swallowed some spatter. Took him 3 days to die.
We need to work on your stories, Grizzly.
Lost a good soldier in the roads once. Fell down a hole. Found her 3 days later.
He loves this story.
She spent a whole day telling us all the strange things she saw while lost. A golden longboat floating in the air. Packs of hairless children hunting nugs. A giant skeleton on a throne.
Was it true?
Never found out. She woke up the next day. Couldn't remember any of it. something.
A lost caravan. It may have been down here for centuries. I wonder if anything's left.
Lost my leg to a hurlock a few years back. Left a nasty scar.
How'd you get away?
Kicked her with the other leg. Seriously, keep your guard up. They'll use your tongue as jewelry.
Ugh. I'll remember that. heard the hero of Ferelden came down here during the Blight.
Cardall met the Warden, but I never had the pleasure.
You often see Grey Wardens?
From time to time. They're a good bunch. Tough in a fight. Fearless.
More on the lyrium experiments. Looks like his results were inconclusive.
Down from here is falling. Not keen on that.
I'd also like to avoid falling if we're counting votes.
There has to be another way.
darkspawn are getting worse. Must be close to a nest.
That explains the stench.
That's the last of those, Darkspawn. Legion's in your debt, Inquisitor.
Look at this, Ren. It's ancient. Maybe 1,000 years old.
Any idea who built it, or why?
This Tig is on top of a lyrium mine. According to the memories, the mine was destroyed by some unexplained disaster. The miners must have used this lift to reach the lower levels.
But we're not using it, right?
If there is a Titan causing earthquakes, it's down there.
I found this book with the emissary. The pages are mostly ruined, but a few are readable. See this line? I awoke to the singing stone. Our kingdom trembled at the Titan's hymn.
That reference to singing stone. I've been told that raw lyrium has a sound.
A hum. The mining cast follows it to find lyrium veins. They say it's the stone calling to them.
Perhaps it wasn't chance that the quakes destroyed lyrium mines. Is it possible the Darkspawn or their emissary could also hear the song?
The stone would never call to those vile things. But that doesn't mean they can't hear her.
Darkspawn live and die by the Blight. They don't care for much else.
I didn't realize you knew so much about Darkspawn motives.
Not everything's a mystery, Volta. Some things are exactly as they appear.
And some things are not.
How can we be sure what the book says is true?
We shouldn't force connections that don't exist.
Perhaps this will change her mind. Look here. It's the royal seal of Orsec Garal.
King Orsec Garal? That book belonged to a paragon? Maybe you are onto something, Volta.
Of course you'd take a dead man's word over mine. Always the traditionalist.
Hey, challenging tradition lost you a cushy position in Orzammar.
Does a king's book mean that much to you, Ren?
Paragons are the best of our people. They don't hand that title out to just anyone. Not even a king. Knowing it was Garal's book from the start would have saved us an argument.
As if you'd ever avoid an argument.
What does he mean you lost your position? I thought you were a Shaper.
Not all Shapers have the same duties. Mine were adjusted. When my superiors ordered me to remove an official record from the memories, I declined. We decided it would be best if I served the Shaperate here, finding history instead of recording it.
That record must have been important, to risk your position over it.
It was trivial, actually. A childhood friend of King Balin had ancestral ties to the Carta. But the truth is the truth, no matter how political it may be.
The Shaperate can erase official records. Aren't the memories permanent?
Sometimes erasing records is standard procedure. If a dwarf becomes castless, they're struck from the memories. But I was asked to change a fact that someone important merely found inconvenient.
If the Shaperate is willing to erase memories, what would prevent them from covering up the existence of Titans?
Why would they do that?
Because someone in power demanded it.
It takes courage to challenge authority.
I suppose you would know. Some believe the past is what we make it. But we gain nothing from ignoring mistakes.
Wise words.
I'm sorry I brought it up. The earthquakes are what matters. I don't know where this lift leads, but we're about to find out the hard way. Get ready.
experiments ended.
What was that?
What was what?
Something moved. There. Light a torch.
So I can see us coming? Just stay close.
We are practically blind down here.
We've gone past the deep roads.
How can you tell? It's pitch black.
I can feel it.
Show yourselves!
Ren!
Not at all.
No!
Here is the request Harriet made.
Are there any special instructions?
No, I would not say that.
This is where...
Care Oswin. Odd that the trail should lead us here. Ban Loren is a pious, unassuming man. What has he become involved in?
He might simply be a victim as well.
Let's see what lies within. Promises. I should have known. The Order of Fiery Promise is a cult with strange beliefs about the Seekers. They've hounded us for centuries.
What kind of strange beliefs?
They believe they are Seekers, the only rightful ones. They say we robbed their powers long ago, preventing them from ending the world.
Ending the world?
The only way to truly eradicate evil in their eyes. The world will be reborn a paradise. It's all nonsense.
Why haven't the Seekers dealt with them?
We have, many times. They simply reappear after a time like weeds. Nobody knows how.
Cultists? Why am I not surprised?
This explains why the Seekers might be here, but not the connection to Corypheus. A Seeker. Did they torture him to death? The Promisers will pay for this.
Goodbye.
As the Seekers of Truth have proven resistant to the effects of red lyrium, the Elder One has seen fit to place them in your care. Reclaim your destiny, and know that the Elder One expects your devotion as repayment. Signed by Magister Calpurnia, leader of the Venatori. Does Corypheus not realize the Promisers want the world to end? What use are they to him?
Corypheus will probably betray them before they get their chance.
But after he gets what he needs out of them. But this doesn't explain how he captured the Seekers in the first place, or what's been done with them. We must keep looking.
The letter said Seekers were resistant to red lyrium.
Our abilities grant us many gifts, but a resistance to red lyrium's corruption? That seems strange. Although it would explain why none have numbered among the Red Templars. And thus Seekers would be useless to Corypheus. He would have no leash to hold us.
You really want to keep looking? What we find might not be pleasant.
I do not shy away from unpleasant things. I must know.